菜根谭。
Tending the roots of wisdom.
17. 退即是进，与即是得。
17. To retreat is to advance. To yield is to gain.
菜根谭原文：处事让一步为高，退步即进步的章本，待人宽一分是福，利人十利己的根基。
白话文注解：遇事懂得让一步的人才算是高明的人，因为让一步就等于是为日后进一步留下了余地。待人以厚道的人是有福报的人，因为给人家方便就是日后给自己留下方便的基础。
17-1. A truly wise person knows when to take a step back in situations, as yielding a step now leaves room for progress later. Treating others with kindness and generosity brings blessings, for offering help to others lays the foundation for receiving help when needed. Translated by Bayandefu.
17-2. It is wise to yield a step going through life, for yielding a step is really fundamental to improvement. Toward others, a measure of broad-mindedness really brings fortune, for benefiting others is fundamental to benefiting oneself. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 17-3. When conducing yourself in society, it is wise to be ready to make concessions. To retreat a pace is to make good preparation for a later advance. To treat others with kindness is part of your own happiness, for by benefiting others you lay the foundation for your own future benefit. Translated by Paul White.
17-4. A wise person is someone who knows when to give way in a situation, as yielding is like leaving room for future progress. Those who treat others with kindness and generosity are blessed, as providing convenience to others lays the foundation for receiving convenience in return in the future. Translated by Wen Lin.
18. 骄矜无功，忏悔灭罪。
18. Pride without merit. Repentance erases sins.
菜根谭原文：盖世功劳，当不得一个金字；弥天罪过，当不过一个悔字。
白话文注解：即使剑术过世间最伟大的丰功伟绩，也承受不了一个骄矜的金字所起的抵消作用。即使犯下了滔天大罪，可是能做到一个懊悔的悔字，就能赎回以前的所有过错。
18-1. Even if one has achieved the greatest accomplishments in the world, it cannot withstand the offsetting effect of arrogance. And even if one has committed grave sins, the power of true repentance can redeem all past wrongdoings. Translated by Bayandefu.
18-2. Splendid accomplishments that span the world mean nothing against the single word arrogance. Crimes that extend to the heavens mean nothing against the single word repentance. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 18-3. No matter how earth-shaking one's achievements, self-conceit will cancel them out. No matter how horrendous one's sins, repentance will atone for them. Translated by Paul White.
18-4. Even if one has achieved the greatest accomplishments in the world, it cannot withstand the offsetting effect of arrogance associated with the word pride. Conversely, even if one has committed heinous crimes, embracing the repentance symbolized by the word regret can redeem all previous wrongdoings. Translated by Wen Lin.
19. 完名让人全身远害，归咎于己，韬光养德。
19. A good reputation should be shared with others to avoid harming oneself, while mistakes should be attributed to oneself to cultivate virtue.
菜根谭原文：完名美节不宜独任，分些与人可以远害全身；辱行污名不宜全推，引些归己可以韬光养德。
白话文注解：完美的名气和节操，不要自己一个人独占，必须分一些给旁人。只有如此，才不会招致极度怨恨，而保全人身安全。耻辱与错误，也不可完全推到他人身上，自己一定要承担几分。只有如此，才能掩藏自己的锋芒，而多一些修养。
19-1. The glory of a flawless reputation and integrity should not be solely claimed by oneself. They must be shared with others. Only in doing so can one avoid arousing jealousy and resentment, ensuring personal safety. Likewise, shame and mistakes should not be entirely shifted onto others. One must bear a portion of them. By doing this, one can soften their sharpness and cultivate more self-improvement. Translated by Bayan Defu.
19-2, you can't rightfully claim fine reputation and exemplary integrity just for yourself. Share them with others and you will pass your days free from harm. When disgraceful conduct has stained reputations, don't shirk from conceding your own responsibility. Keep your light under cover in this way, and nurture your virtue quietly. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 19-3, when your good reputation goes hand in hand with your high morals, you should not treat these achievements exclusively as your own, but share them with others. That way you preserve yourself from distant dangers. Shameful conduct and unsavory reputation should not be foisted off entirely onto others, but some should be taken on your own shoulders. That way you can hide your capacities and cultivate your virtue. Translated by Paul White.
19-4. Perfect reputation and integrity should not be monopolized by oneself. Some should be shared with others. Only in this way can one avoid jealousy and resentment and secure one's life. Shame and mistakes should not be entirely attributed to others. One must bear some responsibility oneself. Only in this way can one conceal one's sharp edges and cultivate more refinement. Translated by Wen Lin.
20. 天道既盈，卦中未济。
20. The way of heaven dislikes excess. The hexagram remains unaccomplished.
菜根谭原文：世事留个有余不尽的意思，便造物不能济我，鬼神不能损我。若业必求满，功必求盈者，不生内变，必照外忧。
白话文注解：做任何事都要留有余地，不能做得太绝，这样造物主就不会嫉妒我，鬼神也不会伤害我。假如一切事物都要求达到尽善尽美的地步，一切功劳都达到登峰造极的境界，即便没有发生内乱，也必然招致外患。
20-1. In everything you do, it's important to leave room for flexibility and not take things to extremes. By doing so, the Creator won't envy you, and spirits won't harm you. If you were to demand perfection in all things and pursue the pinnacle of achievements, even without internal turmoil, external troubles are likely to arise. Translated by Bayan Defu.
20-2, in everything you do, practice a little moderation. In this way, heaven and earth cannot envy you and demons cannot harm you. Seeking total success in every endeavor and fullness in every honor may not only cause internal discord but will surely lead to external troubles. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 20-3, whatever I do, I leave some part of it unfinished, that way the Creator will not frown on me and the ghosts and spirits will not be able to harm me. If, in the course of self-cultivation, I strive for seamless perfection, and in the course of earthly achievements I head straight for the summit, even though I incur no internal calamity, I will surely bring upon myself some external grief. Translated by Paul White.
20-4. In everything one does, it's essential to leave room for flexibility and not be too extreme. By doing so, the Creator won't envy me, and spirits won't harm me. If everything requires reaching a state of perfection, and all achievements reach the pinnacle, even without internal strife, it will inevitably attract external troubles. Translated by Wen Lin.
21. 人能诚心和气，胜于调息关心。
21. Sincere goodwill prevails over calming the mind through meditation.
菜根谭原文：家庭有个真佛，日用有种真道。人能诚心和气，于色婉言，使父母兄弟间形骸两世，意气交流，胜于调息关心万倍矣。
白话文注解：真佛不离平常人家，真道不外乎日常生活。一个人如果能保持纯真的心性，言谈举止自然温和愉快，就能与父母兄弟相处的身心融洽，比用静坐调护身心还要好上千万倍。
21-1. A true Buddha remains within the realm of ordinary people, and genuine teachings are found within daily life. If a person can maintain a pure heart and exhibit gentle and pleasant behavior, they can harmoniously interact with their parents and siblings, achieving a state of unity between their body and mind. This is far more beneficial than attempting to maintain one's physical and mental well-being solely through meditation. Translated by Biandefu.
21-2, The true Buddha is in the home. The true Tao is in everyday functions. If you maintain an honest heart, a harmonious manner, a pleasant countenance, and graceful words with your father, mother, brothers, and sisters, and flow with them, each in turn, in wholehearted accord of body and spirit, then isn't this 10,000 times better than breath control and introspection? Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 21-3, Real faith and genuine rules of conduct can be found in the home and in everyday life. If everyone practiced sincerity and harmony, with a smiling countenance and polite words, there would be no estrangement between family members whatsoever, and their interests would coincide completely. This is 10,000 times better than sitting in meditation or practicing breath control. Translated by Paul White.
21-4. A true Buddha is not detached from ordinary households, and true Tao is nothing beyond daily life. If a person can maintain a pure and sincere heart, their speech and behavior naturally become gentle and pleasant. This allows them to interact harmoniously with parents and siblings, surpassing the benefits of cultivating the mind and body through meditation by 1,000-fold. Translated by Wenlin.
22. 动静合一，道之真体。
22. Harmony in movement and stillness is the true essence of the Tao.
菜根谭原文：好动者云电风灯，是记者死灰槁木，须定云止水中，有鸢飞鱼跃气象，才是有道的心体。
白话文注解：好动的人就像乌云闪电，又像风前的残烛孤灯，变幻不定；沉湎于清静的人，如熄灭的灰烬，又像毫无生气的枯木。要像药鹰飞舞在徐行的云下，鱼儿跳跃在平静的水面上，动静相得益彰，这才算是一种有道的活法。
22-1. Active individuals are like shifting clouds and lightning, and they resemble a flickering candle or a solitary lamp in the wind, displaying constant change. Those immersed in tranquility are akin to extinguished ashes or lifeless withered trees. Strive to be like a hawk soaring beneath slow-moving clouds, or fish leaping upon calm waters, combining action and stillness harmoniously. Only then can one truly embody a way of living in accordance with virtue. Translated by Biandefu.
22-2, If you love activity, you are like lightning among the clouds or a lantern in the wind. If you are fond of quiet, you are like dead ashes or a withered tree. Only with the spirit of a hawk soaring among tranquil clouds or a fish leaping from calm water can you personalize the Tao. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 22-3, A man fond of movement is like lightning flashing through the clouds, ephemeral. He flickers like a candle flame in the wind. On the other hand, a man devout to quietude is like dead ashes or a blighted tree stump, bereft of all vitality. The essence of the way is found in movement within stillness and stillness within movement. Movement and rest must complement each other, like hawks flitting through stationary clouds or fish leaping in the still waters of a pond. Translated by Paul White.
22-4. Energetic individuals are like thunderstorms, flashing like lightning, and akin to a candle flickering in the wind, constantly changing. Those immersed in tranquility are like extinguished ashes or lifeless deadwood. It is better to be like a kite soaring beneath drifting clouds or a fish leaping on a calm water surface, where activity and stillness complement each other. This can be considered a way of living in harmony with the Tao. Translated by Wenlin.
23. 工人无太严，教人无过高。
23. Do not be too harsh in attacking others, and do not set expectations too high when teaching.
菜根谭原文：工人之恶无太严，要思其堪受；教人之善无太高， 当使其可从。
白话文注解：当责备别人的过错时，不可太严厉，要顾及到对方的自尊心是否能接受。当教诲别人行善时，不可以要求太高，要考虑到对方是否能做到。
23:1. When pointing out the faults of others, one should avoid being overly harsh and consider whether their sense of self-respect can handle it. Similarly, when advising others to do good, one should not set the bar too high and take into account whether they are capable of achieving it. Translated by Bayandefu.
23:2. Don't be too severe when correcting another's wrongdoing, consider how well it might be taken. Don't be too lofty in demanding another's reform, consider whether or not it can be done. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 23:3. When censuring someone for his faults, do not be too severe, consider the other's level of tolerance. When teaching a man correct conduct, do not set goals which are too lofty for him to reach, consider what he is capable of accomplishing. Translated by Paul White.
23:4. When blaming others for their faults, one should not be too harsh, considering whether the other person's self-esteem can withstand it. When instructing others to do good, one should not set the expectations too high, taking into account whether the other person can meet those expectations. Translated by Wen Lin.
24. 静从会生，明从暗出。
24. Purity arises from impurity. Clarity emerges from darkness.
菜根谭原文：粪虫智慧，变为蝉而引露于秋风，腐草无光，化为萤而跃采于夏月。因之节常自污出，明美从会生也。
白话文注解：粪虫最是肮脏，可一旦化为蝉，却只饮秋天洁净的露水；腐败的野草本不发光，可一旦孕育出萤火虫以后，却可在夏天的夜空中闪烁出光彩。由此而知，洁净的东西常常从污秽中产生，光明的事物常常在黑暗中出现。
24:1. The dung beetle is among the filthiest creatures. Yet once it transforms into a cicada, it only drinks the pure dew of autumn. Decaying wild grasses do not radiate light, but after giving birth to fireflies, they can sparkle in the summer night sky. From this, we understand that pure things often emerge from impurity, and bright phenomena often appear in the midst of darkness. Translated by Bayandefu.
24:2. Larvae are unappealing, yet they turn into cicadas that drink dew in the autumn wind. Withered grass is lusterless, yet it brings forth fireflies that glow beneath the summer moon. Thus grubbiness in the course of things can produce purity, and dimness in the course of things can produce light. Translated by Robert Aitken Daniel W. Wyckoff. 24:3. Nothing is filthier than the dung beetle, yet in one morning it can turn into a cicada and drink the pure autumn dew. Rotten grass has no luster, yet in one morning it can give birth to the glowworm, which gives out brilliant flashes of light on summer nights. From this we can know that pure things can emerge from filthy places and brightness is often a product of darkness. Translated by Paul White.
24:4. The dung beetle is inherently dirty. Yet once transformed into a cicada, it only drinks the pure dew of autumn. Decaying weeds do not naturally emit light, but once they give birth to fireflies, they can sparkle in the summer night sky. From this, it is evident that clean things often arise from impurity, and bright phenomena often appear in darkness. Translated by Wen Lin.